What it do? This is your brother Bishop of Bishop's on TV, and man, I hadn't made a video in a while, in a hot minute, but something triggered me into making this video right here. And I got to talk about the Alaila, Everett, and Tucker. Those are the two young sisters from Virginia. I got to talk about this situation because it's really bothering me right now. The response from America has really done something to me. Right now, we are witnessing a public lynching of this young sister, Alaila Everett. Right now, man, as expected, America is going in on this young black woman. Mind you, this young black girl, I want to say, young black lady, because she's technically not a woman. She's 17 years old. I want people to be aware that they're talking about two teenage girls, and they are dragging this young sister through the mud. This young sister has received death threats, racial slurs thrown her way. Her parents have received death threats. And a lot of people, not only white people, not only white Americans, but there's a lot of black Americans too who have thrown her to the dogs. Now, I'm not picking a side because I don't think this is a side to be picked. I'm actually bothered by the fact that this incident is taking place, it's taking center stage on a national level when we're talking about two young ladies. Two young ladies. You got to think about it. 17 years old. These are teenagers. That means their brain hasn't fully developed yet. And here we are, right on cue, lynching and shaming another young black individual. This speaks to a lot of problems with this country and why, me personally, I don't have patience for America. I don't have love for America. I don't want to unify with the bulk of, or even the concept of a unified America. Like I don't even believe in that shit and care not to even dream of that shit. Because the underlining theme to this all is racism. Oh, he's talking about racism again. They always build a race card. How can it be racism, Bishop, if she attacked, quote unquote, attacked another black girl? Well, first and foremost, you don't really care about that young sister either. Majority of people don't. What they care about is the actions or the perceived actions of one particular black girl who seems to be a villain, who seems to be reckless. That's what they care about the most. No one is giving her grace. No, even some people like Gayle King, who's a black woman, older black woman herself. Gayle King, well, she ain't nothing but the white man's puppet. She's nothing but the white man's pet. To go out there and assassinate this young teenage character, this is a teenager. Like maybe I'm living in Twilight Zone. But we're judging this sister. When I say we, clearly not me, but as a society, we're judging this young sister off a 9-second clip. Off of a 9-second clip. We don't know this sister. We don't know this young woman. We don't know either one of them. What we do know is what we saw on the 9-second clip. And I'll be honest with you, judging from the video, which is only 9 seconds, it does look like she intentionally attacked her. But I can only go off what that sister said, which she said it was an accident. It was an accident. And how hard is it for people to say, you know what? I'm going to reserve judgment, step back, take a deep breath, and consider the possibility that it could have been an accident. But see, America, the West, is not very emotionally intelligent. we're just not a society that is emotionally intelligent. We react off emotions quickly, especially in this hypersensitive environment that we're in today. So when you see that image, first of all, you're seeing black, 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 black. And we know how society looks at black people. Even black people look at black people a certain kind of way. It's confirmation bias, racial bias. Oh, they got to be up to something. There's no grace given to even young black people. It's automatically assumption of the worst. Again, this should not be played out in front of everybody, because we're talking about young kids. I consider them young kids. I feel for the parents on both ends. And if you're asking, but Bishop, why are you taking the side of that? Well, I'm not taking the side per se, but what I do see is a nation villainizing, a nation lynching, a nation shaming a young sister in her family who didn't ask for this. And if she says her intentions were not to harm this girl, then I gotta believe her. And even if that wasn't the case, that's not for us to decide. That's not for it to drag out in the public. But America loves a good lynching of black people. If this was the 30s, that young sister would be dead. It's no doubt in my mind. If this was the 20s, 1910s, what have you, she would be dead. She would be unalived. But because this is 2025, we have other ways of reenacting our hostility and lack of grace and empathy for black people. And this is one of those cases. And if I'm being quite honest, it almost seems as though the young sister who was hit, it almost seems like maybe her family got advice from legal parties, meaning, hey, you could actually win some money in this situation. Because when you start seeking legal action, which that's what her family did. The family, if I'm not mistaken, filed a order of protection against that young sister. And I'm like, okay, why did they file a order of protection when this young sister lives 3 hours away from them? Why would they do that? Why? What sense does that make? They don't know each other. This young lady hasn't threatened her by any means, not that we know of. Yet they filed an order of protection. To me, that almost sounds as though that was something that a lawyer told them to do to follow up with a case against them to win some money. That's just what I'm thinking. This is what I'm assuming. But I don't want to villainize the family either. Me personally, I believe that they should talk about this in public, squash the whole situation, and let bygones be bygones. I mean, goddamn. People act like she just hit her with the baton over and over and over and over again since she was a bloody pope. It was 9 seconds. It was 9 seconds. And that's all we saw. We didn't even get to see the full clip of the track meet. We just seen the video. Like, you gotta understand, the media machine would turn good people bad. They would turn you against someone who might be the good guy or the good girl in this case. These are just my thoughts. I don't see a lot of people coming to this girl's rescue. I just see attack. And that bothered me, and that propelled me to come out with a video that I haven't came out in a while. I just haven't been feeling YouTube in a while, to be honest with you. I've been real busy working on a film. But beside that, this did influence me to say, you know what? Somebody got to come to the sister's defense. So if the young sister and her family happens to run across this video, if it means anything to you all, I'm not against you. I believe you, sister. And yeah, keep your head up. All right. If that means anything, keep your head up. All right. Until next time, whenever that time is, holla.